Hey, how you doing? I just did something that I've been wanting to do for ages, and that is get my DNA test, and I got it through ancestry.com. .co.uk. And you'll see how fitting it is that I got it from .co.uk and not .com. My name is Benjamin. What happened with this DNA test, and what result am I going to take on board and promise you something from it? And I promise, whatever my results are, I'm going to learn a language to do with my ancestry. What were the results I thought I would be? I had a very clear image in my mind of what I thought it would be, more or less, and hopes. So first of all, I assumed that the largest chunk of me would be German. And I expected a sprinkle of Native American, possibly Cherokee, Iroquois, that kind of thing. Okay? I expected quite a bit of British, be that mainly Cornwall and Scottish, maybe a sliver of Irish. I thought I could easily have French, Polish, Czech, semi-hoping that I had some connection genetically to Israel and Jewish people for my faith, but you don't have to be ethnically Jewish to convert to Judaism. We'll see where that goes. And I thought maybe, just because of my relations with people in my lifetime, surely there's something Greek or Anatolia, Cyprus, Lebanon, Syria, kind of somewhere in my DNA there, just because of who I've run into in my life and connections that I've had. So what were the actual results compared to what I thought I was? The largest group by far, and that's over half of me, is England / a northwestern sliver of Europe, basically Calais, Normandy, that kind of area. But what this is, actually, it's not the Saxon English. This is before that. This is pre-Roman British, essentially. Which makes sense because my actual last name, Angwin, is Cornish. And I have a lot of that going on, clearly. So that was expected, but not that much. That's massive. That the biggest chunk of me by far is basically native British from before Roman conquest. So I'll explore that maybe in further videos. What else did I get? 2% Welsh, as high as 8%. Look at this. There we go. As high as 8%. So I'm proud that I'm a bit Welsh genetically, but Welsh nationality these days is not confined to your genetics. Neither, frankly, is Judaism, and we'll get to that in a minute. But what else about these Isles? I am almost a quarter Scottish. Yes. And that's explicitly concentrated in northeast Scotland. And those are some old bits of British DNA. So that taken together, the southeast or the south of Britain and Wales and Scotland all together, I'm over 75% pre-Roman British. That's cool. But what about that German bit? 1% Irish. But I guess that's just part of being American. A bit of jig, I don't know. Anyway, let's go to the continent, shall we? I'm around 2 to 3% Norwegian, which, if I could have gotten a little bit more of that, I'd be a bit taller, it would have maybe helped in my life. Come on, could you carry on a bit? Maybe I'm short because I'm native British. I don't know. But what is native British? Pre-Roman? And what else in Scandinavia? So Norse, a bit of Viking, maybe that's my side, right? But check this out. Swedish Danish, 11%, going all the way up potentially to 19%. That's a big chunk of me that I had no expectation that would happen, because I'd assume if I had Swedish, Danish, Norwegian, I mean, all of that coming together, around 15% maybe, I would expect that I was taller. I mean, that's not fair. You get a bit of cool Scandinavian ancestry, and you're not like a tall, 6-foot guy with blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, come on. What else? Here's the bit I thought I would be most of, and that's Germanic Europe. It's saying just 7%, but it does say it could range up to 36%. So just from my own family history, I'm guessing that's more toward 20%, between 10 and 20% probably. And that's a big chunk of me that I'm clearly proud of, right? So you can see now I'm a lot of Germanic squished together, or rather dashes of Germanic with a large, mostly the pre-Roman British population of Britain. But there's one thing that was a surprise, which I was not expecting. I'm part African. Do you see down there? Look at that. Look at that. So, Senegal. I mean, hey, I like a bit of warm weather. I prefer warm weather. Maybe that's where I get it. But that's just 1%. 1%. But it's there. How did that get in there? I don't have a clue. I guess we all come from Africa eventually. But okay. So, I was wrong about how Germanic I am. I'm actually much more Celtic than I thought. Much more British. I'm probably more British than 95% of Britain. And I wasn't even born here. So I'm a bit proud of that. Yeah, actually. So my DNA didn't have any real big surprises. I didn't expect the Scandinavian to be so strong in me. I thought the Germanic bit on the whole would be a lot bigger. And I don't know where that African bit came in. Now as for my Jewish faith, that doesn't change anything. When you join the Jewish people officially, as our philosopher Maimonides said, that doesn't mean that you don't have the prayers toward your ancestors as being Jewish, because your soul was out Mount Sinai with Moses and all that. So it doesn't change anything. I'm still a Zionist. I'm still practicing the Jewish faith. It's just now I have a bit more reason to be proud about being British, and I'm actually Welsh genetically. A bit. So I'm working on a video about the Croatian language for you. Hopefully that'll be out the later part of this weekend. I'm not sure yet, but we'll get that out. A Croatian language video. And a few of you have said you wanted more videos of me going out and about. I am working on getting my British driving license. They make it so much more difficult than over in America here. I'm working on it. I'm getting it. I have a car. And you want to let me drive with the D plates for Discour? Yeah. Come on, let me drive. And we'll go somewhere nice. But more of those videos will come. My dad's side, I know that's probably where just this ancient British DNA comes from, because we don't even really know where they come from exactly. They're just so ancient and so British that it's like you can't even find it. And all the mixture of Germanic, that's clearly my mother's side, but she clearly had a lot of bits of what is now England as well. So yeah, I expected a lot more German from my mother, actually. But You know, a lot of people from Sweden went to Germany to work, and maybe that's just what happened. Scottish. Yeah, my grandfather, my middle name is Scottish. I expected that, frankly. I'm really proud that a big chunk of me is Scottish. That means a lot to me. That's such an important part of my ancestry. And maybe that Norwegian bit is actually part of that Scottish bit, actually, because there's a lot of back and forth. So that's probably what happened thinking about it. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm about a quarter Scottish. So let me know if you like Scottish stuff, huh? The question with these results is, do I learn German? Do I learn Dutch? Or do I learn Swedish? I've got the Welsh down. I mean, that's the native British as far as I'm concerned. I've put my bits in for that. I've worked hard. My Guinea Gymraeg. I have Welsh. So, Swedish or German? I think there's going to be a lot more resources in German. I'm probably going to learn the German language. Let's see. You want me to learn German? How many of you want me to learn Swedish? But that DNA could be Danish. There's probably a lot of goings and comings between Danes and Swedes. Well, Danes and Swedes and Danes and Germans. So I think German is probably the more sensible one to learn. Well, I know it's just a fun short video, or at least I hope it's a bit short. There we go. What did you think about that? Have any of you gotten a DNA test? Let me know. And as always, Diolch yn fawr iawn am wylio. Oh!